Undefeated Mississippi at 3-0 travels to Tuscaloosa to play the number one team in the country, the 4-0 undefeated Alabama Crimson Tide. Both of these teams can score with the football. Alabama's number 3 in scoring at over 46 points per game. Mississippi's number 1 in scoring at over 52 points per game. So something's got to give. Somebody's going to score. I look at this game if Alabama can stop the run, because if you look at Mississippi, they're 5th in the nation in rushing the football. They know how to run the football. They have 5 different players averaging over 125 yards this season, or has over 125 yards rushing this season. That'll be the challenge for the Crimson Tide. But you look at the quarterback play. 2 great quarterbacks in this. Matt Corral done a terrific job with the football. He's got 14 total touchdowns on the season. If you look at Bryce Young, he's got 15 touchdowns through the year. He doesn't run the ball a lot, but he controls their offense. Looking at this game, Lane Kiffin will have something special for Nick Saban's defense. He always does when they play them. But can they hang on the entire game? I look at this Alabama defense. They had 245 yards rushing put on them by Florida's offense. I think that's going to be the key to this game. Can Alabama stop the run? Can Mississippi run the football? But will it come down to quarterback play? Alabama's a 14.5-point favorite in this football game. I'm still going to take the Crimson Tide in this game, but I don't think they're going to cover the points. I think Mississippi's going to cover, so I'm going to take Alabama winning the game at 27, Mississippi 24.
Well, let's not be confused by Alabama's performance against Florida. They won because Florida did convert on a 2-point conversion after a touchdown, which would have tied the game, sent into overtime. But Florida's an outstanding football team. Here's the other thing about this game, Mark. Florida had a running quarterback, and Pat Corral can certainly run the football as well. Now, Alabama beat Ole Miss last year, 63-48. Yes, it wasn't Ole Miss, but the game went back and forth till the fourth quarter. You mentioned 2 great quarterbacks. I think Bryce Young last week, 2022 for 5 touchdowns is impressive. But I really love Corral, the quarterback. He can run, he can throw. He's a great competitor. The big thing that Alabama has going for him, and I say it each and every week, is Bill O'Brien, our offensive coordinator, Mark. I think he's done a tremendous job with Bryce Young. He's done a great job, and I think this might be the most explosive Alabama football team I've seen. But why do the rich get richer? Lo and behold, Alabama takes a transfer from Ohio State by the name of Williams. All he did was have 248 all-purpose yards on only 4 touches last week. He is a tremendous speedster, which gives him a breakaway threat, which they have really lacked. So I love Alabama, but I also like Ole Miss. When you look at Ole Miss, they had an open date. Let's remember this, that Lane Kiffin was an assistant coach and offensive coordinator for Alabama, and he has a knack of putting points on the scoreboard. I think he'll do that also. The underrated person on the Ole Miss team, I think, Mark, is Early, the running back who was all SEC last year. He's averaging over 5.1. They only had to replace 1 starter on offense. They have many junior college transfers. The biggest difference between this Ole Miss team this year and last year, Mark, is their defense. They got a safety that transferred from Georgia who's really outstanding. Makes a big difference in that secondary. And you look at the defensive line that they have transfers and junior college players. It's a different football team. They're not a great defensive football team. I don't think they can slow Alabama down. But by the same token, I think Alabama's going to have a great deal of trouble slowing down Ole Miss. But Bama prevails, 45-38. I cannot believe that anybody's a 14-point favorite over Ole Miss.